Hello and welcome to this first tutorial on model-level live debugging of real-time embedded systems. In this tutorial, I'm going to present mDebugger, an interactive model-level platform-independent debugger specifically designed for debugging systems written in UML for real-time. mDebugger can be used for debugging an application that has been modeled using UMLRT and whose code can be entirely generated from Papyrus for real-time. mDebugger can be used either in command line or within Eclipse using an Eclipse integration we have made. In this first video, I'm going to present how to use mDebugger in command line. So let's start with a simple model, a counter application. So the purpose of this system is simply to count by incrementing a value every 10 seconds. In UMLRT, this system can be described with the help of structural diagrams containing components or capsules and state machine diagrams for describing the behavior of the system. Also, Papyrus RT allows us to generate C++ code for this application. So by right-clicking on the root element in the Papyrus Model Explorer and by choosing Regenerate All Code. Okay, once the code of this application is generated, the application can be compiled and executed. Compiling and executing the application can be done either in Eclipse or in a terminal. So let's open a terminal. Okay, so let's locate this application, which is counter src. Okay, and I can see the different artifacts that were generated along with a makefile. So if I execute the makefile, I can compile my application and I can see that a program was created called counter main and I can launch it. So let's take that on the desktop. So the behavior of this system is quite simple. First, we initialize a timer in an initial transition of the counter component. We initialize this timer and this timer will be triggered every 10 seconds. Then we set up default values for different attributes such as var_integer, var_boolean, and var_string with different values, and we display a message start counting in the console. Then every time that the timer triggered an event, the self-transition code count is taken, and which caused the var_integer value to be incremented by 1 and to display the new value in the terminal. Now it's possible using mDebugger to debug this application. To do that, let's go back to Papyrus RT, right-clicking on the root element of inside the Papyrus Model Explorer and choose Generate Code with Debug. When we do that, we can see that code is also generated, but this time an instrumented version of the counter model called counter_debug was created, which provides the required features in order to be able to debug the system at model level. If we look at the code, we can see that more artifacts were generated and essentially artifacts about debugging stuff. So if I compile again this application, I can see that I will compile an application that is self-debuggable. So a second program was created called debug_top_main, and I can execute this program in the terminal. And I can see that a bunch of information appears, meaning that the system enters in a specific debug mode. Now if I want to use mDebugger in order to be able to debug this application, I can do it in command line. So let's open a second terminal for doing that. Let's locate the application, the mDebugger application. So it's here. Now, mDebugger provides the user with a set of commands that can be used in order to do classical operations, classical debugging operations on the currently executed model. The first command is help. Using the command help, the help command, we can see the list of the commands that can be used in order to be able to debug the system. So we have command in order to be able to list, set and remove breakpoints. We have command in order to be able to alter the execution of the system. So either stepping over, continuing the execution until a breakpoint is reached, or running the application as if there was no breakpoint set. We have also commands in order to be able to view the different values of the different attributes of the capsule instances and also to modify it. And we have also command in order to be able to list the different instances that are instantiated at runtime and to list, for example, the breakpoints, etc., etc. So the first command that we can use is list. Using this list command, we can see all the capsule instances that are instantiated at runtime. We can see that there is only one. And for this capsule instance, we can see its current state. And the current state, the most important information is at the end. The current state is before the action code of the initial transition to be executed. So if I come back on the model, I can see that, let's open the terminal and let's stick it always on top. So I can see that this message, so B for before, AC for action code, and initial for the name of the transition, means that the system is currently stopped before the action code of the initial transition is used. And actually we can check that using a second command, the view command, in order to be able to see the different values of the different attributes. So if I use the command view and I use the name of the capsule instance, counter.0, so let's copy that for future use. Okay, and minus -v, and we can see that the three values are for the month for the three attributes of integer, bool, and string. 0, false, and nothing for the string. And this is coherent because we haven't actually executed this code. So if I want to step over the execution of this system, I can use another command called next. And I have to specify the name of the capsule I want to step over. And I can see when I do that something happened in the execution of the system. And if I want to see the new state in which the system is, I can use the list command. And I can see, compared to previously, that the state changed. We are not before the execution of the action code, but this time after this execution, meaning that this action code was executed. And we can check it by looking at the different values of the attributes. And we can see that the default value of our string was set to the one that we defined in the action code. Now it's possible using mdebugger to list the different breakpoints. So to do that, we can use the command list using the name of the capsule and then B in order to be able to see all the breakpoints. And we can see that for the month there is no breakpoint set for this capsule instance. So let's have a look on the command that we can use for being able to set these breakpoints, and we have different commands. So the command that we can use is breakpoint -c to define breakpoint -c, the name of the capsule instance. Then I can choose either T or S depending on whether I want to debug a transition or a state. So let's consider a state, then the name of the state, counting, and then I have two other parameters to specify, -b or E for beginning or end, and -entry or exit for the entry action code or the exit action code. So if I do -b -entry, that means that I will set a breakpoint before the entry action code of the state to be executed. Okay, if I do that, I can see information telling me that the breakpoint was set, and actually I can check it using the list command with the parameter b, and I can see that there is one breakpoint set. Now it's possible to either step over the execution using the command next, or this time to continue the execution using the command called continue, in order to be able to execute the system until a breakpoint is reached. So if I use continue -c and the name of the capsule, I will continue the execution until the breakpoint I previously set is reached. So now I can have a look on the current state, and I can see that the current state is counting, meaning that the system was waiting for receiving a timer event in order to be able to cross the transition, the count transition. And if I have a look again, I can see that now I'm in another state, which is a debug state, which is called the AAC count, meaning that I'm after the action code of the count transition, which is relevant because I set the breakpoint at the beginning of the entry action code of counting, meaning that I'm currently stopped at the end of the transition. And actually I can use another command, which is view, with the name of the capsule, and this time I can use -n and -e in order to see the different events that occurred that led this system in this current state. And I can see that I have different events. So I asked for the 3 last events, and I can see that I have different values. So for example, I have the different values for each event, and we can see that the var integer increased at some point when the transition was taken, which is conformed to the action code that we put for the transition. So during when the transition is crossed, then var integer is incremented, and this is something that we can see here. We can also see that the status value changed. The status is an attribute that allows us to know if the capsule is in a debug mode or a running mode. Status 1 means debug, and status 0 means running mode. So we can see that when we continue the execution, we entered a running mode until the breakpoint was reached, and the capsule returned in the debug mode. Now it's possible, so if I have a look again on the different values, I can check actually that the var integer is set to 1 using -v. So this is the case. I can now modify this value using mdebugger. So for example, I have a command called modify. So I can use modify with always the name of the capsule, -n to give the name of the attributes, and -v in order to give the name of the new value that I want to set. So for example, let's say 12. Okay, so now I can have a look, and I can see that this value was taken into consideration. So 0 and -v, and I can see that the new value is 12. I can of course continue the execution, and I can see that I reached again my breakpoint. So if I look again at the value, I can see that the value was incremented by 1. Okay, so this is the most commonly used command that we can use using mdebugger. Another command is run, in order to be able to run the execution of the system without having to stop when a breakpoint is reached. Another command is the connection command that can be used in order to be able to interface mdebugger with external debuggers. This is what we used in order to be able to create the Eclipse integration we have made. This will be shown in a second video. Thanks for watching.